As soon as the first step had been made, we could all feel a sudden decrease in the temperature. It was like entering an invisible aura of coldness. The air got heavier, and what seemed to be an easy task of passing this plane before the dusk just became a distant possibility. It was obvious that any form of running is impossible, since the road was either completely destroyed, or its stones were sticking out so far that a wrong step could result in a serious injury. That was a risk that we could not take, because we simply could not afford getting stuck here. If the ghost stories were even slightly true, we could be facing a serious danger. Our weapons are designed for piercing flesh and steel, and not the spectral entities made out of pure air. This was the first time for me to feel the heavy burden of being the leader of my group. The thought of facing something inevitable, facing something that we can't counter, was becoming very unpleasant. We were safe at the moment, but as soon as the traveling sun hits the horizon and the mist starts rising from the ground, we might be going through a living hell. Literally. However, Revan did not look concerned. He even smiled at me as soon as he recognized the fear within me. "What should we do, Revan?" I was ready to give him the leader status for as long as we were in this plane. After organizing his thoughts for a moment, he turned to us and said, "Our best goal is to walk for as long as we can without stopping. Once we get tired, we will walk even harder. And once the specters start rising, we will fight our way through them." "But how are we supposed to fight them with our weapons?" Liz asked what was on all of our minds. "As far as I know, the normal steel can't hurt air, right?" Revan turned his head to Liz. "You are right. In a certain way, these ghosts or specters, as you call them, can't get hurt by our weapons. However, notice these old weapons lying around. Once they rise, these weapons will become their weapons." He grabbed a nearby spear, old and rusty, lying just right next to him. After observing it for a moment, he quickly broke it in half over his right leg. While holding the two broken parts in his arms, he looked at us and said, "But as you can see, they won't be able to hurt us. This equipment is old, rusty, and is falling apart. How do you plan to kill anyone with this?" We stood there in silence. Revan's words did make a certain sense to us. If he is right, that is. We had no time to waste, and no further breaks can be done. We have 3 more hours of the daylight and 4 hours of getting to the edge of the Karzul plain. We found our next pathstone and noticed the second one lying just a few meters above. Our advance was slow, but our determination to get to the end was unquestioned. The mountains were right in front of us, big and vast, but still too far for us to feel secure. However, the look behind us was encouraging, since we could see a huge part of the plain behind us. We could feel the success while watching some of the last sun rays. But with the last light of the day, we could notice something happening in the distance. We could do nothing but to stand, while getting ready for what was coming. A white mist turned red. Screams of pain and horror flashed through the air. "Run," Revan said. "Run and don't look behind." Of course, we all looked behind. Even today, this has to be the most terrifying moment I've ever experienced.